got a couple injuries. Wanye Morris hurt his leg, so lower leg. We'll just have to see with next day or so here how he is. And then Trent McDuffie hyperextended his knee, so we'll have to see how it works out for him. Listen, I was proud of the guys for the effort that they put in. We just, I put the guys offensively in a tough position with the fourth downs, trying to stay aggressive with it. I take full responsibility for that. And there are opportunities that you've got to take advantage of. You're playing a good football team in the Texans, and you've got to make sure when you have opportunities to make plays, you make plays. And we were short just a little bit there, but I thought defensively we played a very sound football game, especially that second half. Chris Jones and Bolton leading the way, and there was some fine football there. We just need to take advantage of it offensively, and we weren't able to do that. So with that, time's yours.
Coach Reid, can you walk us through that decision on the fourth down there with 10-10 after the defense had been playing so well to start second half?
Yeah, so I thought we could get it. That was the decision. I was confident we could do that. So it's important that you take advantage of opportunities. I thought it was an opportunity. I was wrong, though. I mean, hindsight, it was wrong. We've been pretty good on fourth downs. So, I messed that one up.
And you guys have been really good on fourth downs with Cream in particular. Obviously, you'd already used him three times with short yardage. Does that factor into your decision to do something different there?
Well, it was a little similar to last week, when we threw the ball to Wiley there, so we felt we had run it a couple times, so came back and thought we had an answer with it, and didn't work out the way we planned. Really on all three of the fourth downs there, so, that we missed.
Maybe there was a couple of playoffs late as well. It just happens sometimes. Is there anything you saw?
Yeah, listen, these are great players, so I mean, we got to make sure we catch the ball. They know that, and they're trying. It's not lack effort there. The ball went through their hands, and it happens. But those guys are great players.
What you try to get across after the game? You guys are in a pretty precarious spot now with postseason votes.
Yeah, listen, it's never over. So you keep battling. I've been doing this a long time, seen some things. So you keep going.
Maybe not that any loss feels good, but what do you sense from just the mood with the guys when you saw them after the game?
Yeah, they're upset. I mean, they put it all out there, and it didn't work out for them. The guys that had some mishaps there, they were upset. These guys take responsibility for things, so you keep going. But we put everything into these games, every game. So when you lose, you should be upset, and that's why you try to enjoy the wins when you have an opportunity. But there's a lot of time and effort that goes into it.
Coach, you guys were in a tough spot all week, getting ready with the offensive line where it was, and then with what happened to Wanye right off the bat. Overall, how do you think the guys did in that kind of tough spot?
Yeah, listen, they battled. There were some early hiccups in there, but I thought they battled, and against one of the best defensive lines in the league. So it was respectable there for what they were dealing with. Some of the guys hadn't practiced in there very much, so it's good for them.
Sam, you touched on it, but just the defensive turnaround in the second half, particularly the first three drives were Houston three and out, maybe four drives I think they were three out. What did you just see for adjustments you guys were able to make?
Yeah, listen, I thought that second half, it was good. Really throughout most of the second half, we did a nice job. First half, they extended a drive for a score on a penalty, and that I thought was a pretty good play.
Initial thoughts as far as what Esapole was able to do stepping in for Wanye?
Yeah, so he's the one that probably didn't practice much in there. Limited time, and he stepped up and was asked to play a crucial position at a crucial time, and I thought he did a respectable job. Now, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough.
Last one, Todd.
You sit there and watch football and let me see something that you've never seen. I don't remember seeing kind of. Can you just take us through what happened when they said the first down, and replay review, and you had to throw the flag, and they fixed it before? What was?
Yeah, that one they goofed on. I mean, they said it that they mishapped on their replay. So, but they corrected it. Because they gave that back to me, so we were okay.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
The stadium lights flickered like distant stars being summoned awake, casting long shadows across the field as if the city itself were holding its breath for what was about to unfold. Kansas City had seen unforgettable nights before, but this one carried a strange electricity, the kind that whispered change in every gust of wind curling over Arrowhead. Fans poured in with faces painted, hopes high, and hearts steady, unaware that by the time the final whistle blew, none of them would walk out feeling the same. It began innocently enough, with the usual thunderous entrance, the explosion of red and gold confetti, Patrick Mahomes warming up with that signature focus that made even routine throws look like spells being cast. But beneath the showmanship was an undercurrent, an intuition only the closest observers could sense, like the faint tremor before an earthquake. Travis Kelce jogged onto the field with his usual swagger, but there was something different in his eyes, a quiet intensity, as though he felt the future brushing against him. The game kicked off with the Chiefs commanding early control, Mahomes weaving through defenders with balletic precision, fans roaring with each impossible completion. Everything was going exactly as Kansas City had prayed for, until the moment the world seemed to tilt. A deep pass sailed high, arcing beneath the stadium lights like a comet, and Kelce leapt, fingers brushing the ball just as a defender slammed into him. The collision reverberated through the stands like a crack of thunder. Kelce's body twisted midair, and when he hit the turf, the noise died instantly. 60,000 voices silenced in an instant. Mahomes froze, his helmet turning sharply toward the fallen tight end, his expression collapsing into sheer panic. For a second, even the cameras hesitated, unsure whether this was the moment everything changed. Trainers sprinted across the field, the crowd standing motionless, hands clasped, breaths stolen. Social media detonated in real time, timelines filling with clips, prayers, fears, theories. Fans who had once bickered about stats and play calls suddenly found themselves united in a single plea: get up. When Kelce finally moved, pushing himself upright with trembling arms, Arrowhead erupted. It wasn't just noise, it was the sound of a city exhaling after nearly drowning. He waved off the cart, stubborn as ever, but anyone watching closely could see the grimace tugging at his features, the way he favored his leg as he walked. Mahomes reached him quickly, placing a hand on his shoulder, their eyes locking in an unspoken conversation only brothers forged in fire could understand. The rest of the game blurred into a haze of adrenaline and dread. The Chiefs fought on, but the spark was different, flickering, unsure. Fans stayed long after the final whistle, lingering in the stands as if waiting for someone to tell them everything was fine. But no assurance came. That night, the city was restless. Bars buzzed with anxious speculation, living rooms became makeshift war rooms of replay analysis, and talk shows spiraled into dramatic monologues about legacy, aging stars, and the fragile window of greatness. Was this the moment history shifted? Had the Chiefs just witnessed the start of their twilight? Meanwhile, in the quiet corridors of the stadium, Mahomes sat beside Kelce in the training room, their usual banter replaced with a heavy silence. Kelce tried to joke, tried to brush it off as a bruise, a scare, a story for later, but Mahomes wasn't fooled. He knew the weight of what almost happened. He had seen dynasties crumble on nights just like this. Days passed with updates that said everything and nothing. Limited practice. Questionable status. Evaluations ongoing. The city hung on every word, living between refresh buttons and rumors. Yet through it all, something unexpected happened. The community, the fans, The team, the entire kingdom, grew closer. Instead of unraveling, belief tightened its grip. And then came the next game, the one circled on calendars with equal parts excitement and terror. Would Kelce emerge from the tunnel? Was this the beginning of a comeback or a farewell? When he finally jogged out beside Mahomes, the stadium convulsed with emotion. People cried, screamed, clutched strangers. The roar was not about football. It was about relief, about resilience, about refusing to let fear rewrite the season. Kelce wasn't perfect that night, but he was present, fighting, pushing, reclaiming every inch of the field that had tried to take him down. Mahomes played with renewed fire, each throw a declaration that their story wasn't finished. The Chiefs won not by dominance, but by heart. And strangely, it was better that way. Because Kansas City learned something vital, that legends are not built on perfection, but on the moments when they stand back up, shaken but unbroken. As the season marched forward, the memory of that fall lingered, not as a scar, but as a reminder of how quickly everything can change, how precious every snap truly is. And so the city cheered louder, believed harder, and held its breath a little less, knowing that the beauty of football lies not in certainty, but in the fragile, breathtaking thrill of the unknown.